Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to Drawing Down the Stars. I'm Snappy. Thank you for joining me for our live tarot session today, October 3rd, 2024. It's a beautiful day. Thank you all for joining me. I want to start out by apologizing for the quality today and for missing yesterday's. I'm currently traveling. It's kind of a vacation, but I thought I would still come out here and do tarot with you all because I love it and I love you. So we're going to have some fun and enjoy ourselves. So let's start out by giving a shout out to everyone here in the chat. So first, shout out, Geronimo, good to see you, much love. Steve McQueen, much love. Abbott, the chat is for chatting. Don't worry, be chatty, have fun, as long as you're not a dink. All right, Isaac, much love. D-Love, much love. All right, Valerie, it's great to see you. Rowie, good to see you. Steve McQueen, you get it, see? Geo, much love. Sentient Code, much love. Geo, much love. Pamela, great to see you. D-Love, good evening. Taz, good evening. Thanks, Valerie. All right. Mother Rhea, all the love in the world. All right. Thank you guys for joining me. We're going to have a great time here. So let's start off by talking a bit about the astrology. We're currently still in that double Libra energy, moon in Libra, sun in Libra. It's that extraordinarily balanced time. Now is the time to learn to move in harmony, to find your place, to find your rhyme and your reason, to move in flow, to be in communion with others, to embrace love and to embrace others. Libra is that profound energy of connection and of seeking harmony and balance and justice. Vibe with it, flow with it, enjoy life. All right. And before I begin, I wanted to read for you guys a poem. I have this favorite website of mine, and they do like a daily poem that comes up in my email. And this one really hit home for me. It's very, very synchronistic. I'm just going to read it, but I know it will inspire you. So it's called Joy by Madison Julius Kawine. What were this life without her? Joy, whose young face is sweet, with dreams that flit about her, in rapture wild of feet, with hope that knows no languor, and love that knows no sighs, and mirth like some rich anger, high sparkling in her eyes. Come, bid adieu to sorrow, and arm in arm with joy we'll journey towards tomorrow, and let no care decoy our souls from all clean pleasures that take from time's lean hand the hourglass that she treasures, and change to gold its sands. All right, amazing, hopeful, joyful energy. Embrace the joy, embrace that harmonious Libra energy. So I wanted to talk a bit about the title. So the other day when I was meditating, I was really getting this strong vibe, this strong energy of that hermit, of that Virgo. You know, that resonates really deeply with me. I have double Virgo in my placement, sun and rising. And so the Virgo energy just always hits hard. And I felt it that day, and then I drew the hermit card, but it was reversed. And I normally don't do reverses, but it hit me a little harder that day. And I recognized that it was about this learning to come out of that cave, coming out of that solitude, and to embrace connection, to broaden your perspective. Recognize that in this path, in order to truly know the self, it is a two-part endeavor. The first part is understanding and knowing of the self, right? And this is that most fundamental part, right, in its abstract sense. But in a literal sense, you have to do that Virgo reclusive thing. You have to separate yourself off and meditate and be in the body. Recognize yourself. Learn to listen and know yourself. But then there comes a point where that knowledge has reached its limit. And that Virgo must learn to then move out of that cave, return to community, and engage with others and broaden her perspective. And she learns that through that broadening of her perspective And through that knowledge of the self that she's gained, she's now even able to further understand. She can see herself reflected in the other, right? She can see how she's meant to flow in the world around her and can find her place. And that's that energy right now. Recognize that once you have learned, you have to then move and flow. There's two parts to this. You cannot be that monk who denies themselves forever, even though there are times when it is necessary, but it's only for a time. Everything in balance and moderation, everything according to that middle way. And the most important thing is that generation, being in community, pursuing into the future and imagining into the future, right? Beautiful. All right, let's do our Ganapati Oracle. So Ganapati Ganesha is that Lord of beginnings, the divine child, the guardian of the threshold, and the master of spirits, the Ganas. And we ask them to send us a message. And wow, that message came shooting out and hit me. Relaxation, relaxation. You know, I'm on vacation. To me, though, doing this with you is a form of relaxation. But that's the point, though. We need to take that time to be in the self. We need to be in that flow. We need to learn how to let go, too. You know, and again, this really resonates with me in that Virgo energy because I have a hard time with this. I don't sit still. I'm always busying. If there's something to be cleaned, I'm cleaning it. Something needs to be put away, I'm putting it away. You know, and as you can see, I'm on vacation, and my idea of vacationing is to do this for you guys. So, but still, we need to find that time to really sit and relax and let go. If you can't let go, then you can't let the weight of the world be relieved. You know, one of the things that we need to recognize is that the body often will deeply impact our reasoning and our sense of understanding. And if you're agitated or stressed or overworked, you are going to perceive the world as agitated, stressed, and overworked. And what isn't a big issue is a big issue when you're stressed. But if you took that time to sit and let it go, all of a sudden, none of it matters. You go, wait, maybe I was overreacting. Like, it's not that I didn't have a reason, but is it really that important? You know, all of a sudden, things when you're relaxed don't matter so much. You know, it's like, just, whew, why bother? Slights are slights. They're in the past. What's important are relationships and connections and love, right? That's the energy here. Learning to be able to let go, to be in that flow, to be able to be in peace. Otherwise, you can't truly see things if you're not at peace, you know? It's unfortunate because many of us aren't able to be at peace. And I recognize that too. And my heart goes out to all of you who have to work or have to take care of children or have to take care of elders or what have you. We all have many incredible responsibilities, but it's important that we try to make that time for ourselves, especially to just sit and be. All right. We are now going to go to our sortes. For those of you unaware, the sortes is a form of bibliomancy, that is divination through literature. It comes to us from the Greco-Roman tradition. We invoke the goddesses of inspiration, the divine muses, and we ask them to send us a message through the text. And today we're going to start with 10 plays by Euripides. So muses, guide my hand. What is the message from Euripides? Inspire us this evening. All right. You must lose no time in fulfilling your appointed task. There is one labor I have spared you. This is deep. This is deep. This is a call out. Many of us will know there is one thing we have been called to, one responsibility beyond all others, right? And we can never forget it. That's not to say that other things can't matter, but there are things, and these will change too, right? This is something that you must recognize in your life. People who are parents will deeply understand this, because when you're a parent, that child is that responsibility. But it isn't forever either. There will become a time when that child transitions and that parent has to learn to rethink that responsibility. And that is true of all responsibilities, all of these things. But it's important that we recognize them and we understand the import. What do you have to do right now? What relies upon you, right? Let's continue. The House of the Dead by Jeremy Reed. This was a beautiful birthday gift from my dear friend Graham. Graham and I did a episode of Searching for Dragons on this text. If anyone is interested in it, please go check it out. It's a lot of fun. All right, muses, guide my hand. What is the message from Jeremy Reed? She followed Plath in a boxy fur coat, its pockets crammed with bricks. Virginia Woolf, her schizophrenic aura deep purple, her class luxuriously obvious and still chain-smoking a blackened cheroot, and sensed my presence, tilted wide of hers, and told me what she missed was English tea, Fortnum's Earl Grey, and hand-printed first books to be bound in rococo paper, and the delusional hallucinations that disrupted normative space and time. Like film, die in her imagination. Her fiction won from her fried chemistry. Wow. Interesting. We get two poets here, Sylvia Plath and Virginia Woolf. She followed Plath in a boxy fur coat. Virginia Woolf followed in the footsteps of Plath. Two of the greatest poets of all time. But who we are engaged with here is Virginia Woolf. Her schizophrenic aura was deep purple. Her class luxuriously obvious, and still chain-smoking a blackened cheroot, and sensed my presence, tilted wide of hers, and told me what she missed was English tea, Fortnum's Earl Grey, and hand-printed first books to be bound in rococo wallpaper, and the delusional hallucinations that disrupted normative space and time, like film dye in her imagination. Her fiction won from fried chemistry. What she missed most about the life is tea. And those moments of getting lost in thought and in waking daydream. Wow. Beautiful. I love that. Let us continue. We are now going to go to Don Juan in Hell by Bernard Shaw. Muses, guide my hand. What is the message from Bernard Shaw? What need I add? Do you not understand that when I stood face to face with woman, every fiber in my clear, critical brain warned me to spare her and save myself? My morals said no. My conscience said no. My chivalry and pity for her said no. My prudent regard for myself said no. My ears practiced on 1,000 songs and symphonies. My eyes excised on 1,000 paintings, tore her voice, her features, her colors to shreds. Wow. This is talking about the curse of Aphrodite and Aphrodite's song. Listen, Don Juan replies, but what need I add? Do you not understand? And when I stood face to face with woman, every fiber in my clear, critical brain warned me to spare her and save myself. My morals said no. My conscience said no. My chivalry and pity for her said no. My prudent regard for myself said no. Reason told him not to be an abuser. My ear practiced on 1,000 songs and symphonies. My eye excised on 1,000 paintings, tore her voice, her features, her colors to shreds. That perception and that reception of the other, right? That we need to be able to resist and control, that can lead to that violence. And recognize too, what is at the heart of the mystery? Those with ears to hear and eyes to see. What does this mean? In many ways, to have the ears to hear and the eyes to see, you have to look into the face of beauty and stay your hand, not possess her. Could you do it? Or are you just an animal? Sinister Assassin by Antonin Artaud. Muses, guide my hand. What is the message from a sinister assassin? Inspire us. I've sent you other manuscripts in addition to the Tutaguri to alienate the actor, the theater, and science. So I'm going to have to take back Tutaguri from you and send a text to replace it. But above all, give me back the manuscript right now, for this is sacred text and you are not allowed to touch it. But he sent it to him. Okay. Interesting. Tutaguri. This is talking about Antonin Artaud went on an adventure to Mexico. And while he was in Mexico, he was died and reborn through the sacred rites of the peyote ritual of the Tutamkara. And that is what he's talking about. That revelation through that engagement with the divine goddess as peyote, the Tutaguri. All right, let's continue. We're now going to go to L'Autrement, Malidor, and other poems. Muses, guide my hand. What is the message from Malidor? Inspire us this evening. And yet, though I am fully in favor of the positive use of metaphor, this rhetorical figure does far more service to human aspirations towards the infinite than those who are riddled with prejudice and false ideas, which come to the same thing and are prepared to acknowledge. It is nonetheless true that the risible mouths of these peasants are still big enough to swallow 3 sperm whales. Oh my gosh. This is hilarious. Okay. All right. Let me find this again, because that was just wild. And yet, though I am fully in favor of the positive use of metaphor, what is the positive use of metaphor? What he's talking about is the poetic use of metaphor within mythology to convey multiple meanings within a text, to invoke divine images, eidolons that can be perceived and received, right? This rhetorical figure does far more service to human aspiration towards the infinite than those who are riddled with prejudice and false ideas, because the metaphor can get you to the true idea, to the essence. Where is the sign pointing? Hermes is the word. Pay no attention to the word. Where does it point, right? What is the idea behind it? This is the Orphic Vox, right? The Orphic Vox can tell you that a dark harbor is a womb and not just a place for ships. Can also tell you that it is that black hole in space, right? The multiple layers that can be unearthed. But this is where it gets wild. It is nonetheless true that the risible mouths of these 3 peasants are still big enough to swallow 3 sperm whales. And what he's saying is that the ignorant, and he uses that unfortunate word of peasant, but we'll allow it, that the people who don't know better, who are not in that state of understanding, even when you give them the 3 muses as 3 whales, right? The muses are often depicted as dragons of the sea or as nymphs of the sea, as sirens. Even when you give them the muses, they gobble them up and say, where's more? It's not enough. And you know what? Any of us who've engaged in this kind of process for a while and has talking to people will know this. There's been many people I've been like, and here's the muse, and they go, and? And I don't know what to tell you. All right. Yeah, and the three fates, the Morai, right? When I think of the three muses, I mean the Titanic muses. You know, there are many muses. There's the personal muse, there's Memnosine, the Titanic muses, the nine muses, the Boeotian muses, the Apollonian muses, the Dionysian maenads. The muses are infinite. Lorca, three tragedies. All right. Muses, guide my hand. What is the message from Lorca? Inspire us this evening. Loving her voice. Lowering her voice. What you already know. Why am I childless? Must I be left in the prime of my life taking care of little birds or putting up tiny pleated curtains at my little window? No, you've got to tell me what to do, for I'll do anything. You tell me, even to sticking needles in the weakest parts of my eyes. Now, this is true pain here and such a dark image. But recognize these are the people, and this is the energy that gets exploited. And it hurts me to say this, but this is the reality. And I mean this with nothing but love. But let me read this back. What you already know. Why am I childless? Must I be left in the prime of my life taking care of little birds or putting up tiny pleated curtains at my windows? No, you've got to tell me what to do, for I'll do anything you tell me, even to sticking needles in the weakest parts of my eyes. There's many levels here. On one level, we're seeing that image as justice. Again, he's talking about justice is blind and she blinds herself. Justice is childless. She has no stake in the game. She is not allowed. And this is her curse, right? But it's greater than this as well. This is an energy that many people embody. Many people embody this energy. And what that is that feeling that my purpose is to give birth, and my purpose has been denied me. And I would do anything for that purpose. Yeah, Valerie, obsession, right? Greed, possession, right? Even possessing after an idea, believing that we are owed a child, not being satisfied with being a step parent or a foster parent or an adoptive parent, you know? Sad energy, because we are so much greater than anything like that. No one's purpose is simply to give birth, right? That is one moment in a person's life, right? One moment. Don't limit yourself. You are so much greater than such things. We're now going to continue. Marlowe, Dr. Faustus. Muses, guide my hand. What is the message from Dr. Faustus? Oops. Inspire us this evening. Tell me who made the world. I will not. Sweet Mephistopheles, tell me. Move me not, for I will not tell thee. Villain, have I not bound thee to tell me anything? Aye, that is not against our kingdom, but this is. Think thou on hell, Faustus, for thou art damned. Wow. Tell me who made the world. I will not. Sweet Mephistopheles, tell me. Move me not, for I will not tell thee. Villain, have I not bound thee to tell me anything? Aye, that is not against our kingdom, but this is. Think thou on hell, Faustus, for thou art damned. Because the thing is, who made the world? We know who made the world. Prometheus made the world. Prometheus made man. Zeus was jealous and split us in twine, right? And who is Prometheus? Who is Apollo? Who is Lucifer? All right, let us continue. Goethe, Faust. Muses, guide my hand. What is the message from Faust? Inspire us this evening. Cybele drinks recklessly and spills the wine on the floor while it bursts into flames. Help, fire, give help, a hellish flame. Wow, Cybele, this lady's name is Cybele, drinks recklessly and spills wine on the floor. Spilling wine on the floor, Dionysus. And the wine turns to flames, Medea. Help, fire, give help, a hellish flame. Wow. When that Dionysian energy and that Medea energy meets, you get that spark of flame. All right. I'm just going to pick up a couple things here. Sorry, guys. And reminded me, though, that I forgot to do it needs to do another Ganapati here. So it's telling me that message came up, the only card that came up when the deck fell. Acceptance. Acceptance. Learning to accept the self. Learning to be in the self. Learning to love the self. To be okay with the present. You know, it's so hard, that acceptance energy. It needs to be applied through reason, because some things we must accept. You must accept the body, right? You must accept the body, for this is the only body you have. But there are other things that you cannot accept, right? Intense energy that must be listened to and reconciled. Interesting. Wow. We're going to do one final sortes, and then we're going to jump to our tarot. So we're going back to Faust here. Oh, sorry. I wanted to do Byron. All right. Here we go. Muses. What is the message from Lord Byron? But worst of all is nausea, or a pain about the lower region of the bowels. Love, who heroically breathes a vein, shrinks from the application of hot towels, and purgatives are dangerous to his reign. Seasickness, death, his love was perfect. How else could one's passion, while the billows roar, resist his stomach, ne'er at sea before? Seasickness kills love. You can't make love if you're not feeling well, right? Recognizing, again, the power of the body over love, over everything, right? If you're not able to be in that flow with the self, how can you love? You know, it's cliche, but you hear it all the time. If you don't love yourself, you can't love another. And that is very, very true. You know, it's cliched because it's true. All right. We're now going to hop to the tarot proper. Okay. So we're going to go to the Thoth Tarot of Lady Frida Harris and Aleister Crowley. And we are going to ask Saturn to dissect our lives, cut it up and put it on the plate, to show us our interconnections, to help us divine the present, and to show us how we best move and flow, how we overcome the conflicts, and how we manifest our true will. And a couple cards shout out at me there. And for our center card, we have the Princess of Swords. Wow. Wow. Before I get into this, please, though, give me a like and a subscribe. It really does make a big difference, and I would truly appreciate it. And if you're at all interested in a private reading, you can reach out to me, snappydtts@gmail.com, or find me on the Myth and Lore Discord at Snappy or Lady Snappy. Everything you'll find in the description. All right, so we have that Princess of Swords. This is that divine child, right? That child that is in that energy of learning, of growing, right? Of trying to assert herself upon reality, of trying to ascend to the heights of wisdom. Recognize that the princesses are that inspired goal that must be reached. They have so much potential. The princess can grow and become the unfolding of the universe, right? They're that special number, that 7, according to Crowley. Also, recognize that the princess must be nurtured. They must be cared for, right? That when they're engaged with that loving energy, that is when they can evolve and they can transcend. And that when we see this energy entering into our life, it's a call for responsibility and for action, right? Connected to that princess, we have the 3 of Swords. Intense energy, sorrowful energy. This is that energy of self-doubt, of connecting to this child and saying, am I good enough? Can I fulfill? Can I be that responsible energy, right? And this is that energy of falling short, of believing that you're not able to. But this is one away from the perfected balance of the truths. And what I see here when I see the sorrow, and what I always tell people, is that truth's energy is that balanced perspective, right? It is now adding in a new person. To create that blossoming of the flower that we see in the floor of truths, it requires someone else. It requires us being seen from the outside and allowing another perspective to influence our own. So recognize that to expand this energy, to overcome the sorrow, we need to recognize that we are being hard on ourselves. We're not seeing things clearly. This sorrow is a result of not showing up with the right energy. And that if we expand our perspective, if we engage more, if we engage with another and listen, we can transform this into that balance of the 4. Where's this going? Interesting energy. We have that devil, right? This is powerful energy as well. This is about the devil is that Lucifer is the one who shines a light and manifests our dreams. Here's the thing, though. These are our dreams on earth, and what we ask for and what we want always cause problems because we don't know what is good for ourselves, right? The devil is just giving you the ability to ascend the mountain. It's you who has to actually climb it. If you get lost along the way or go somewhere else, that's your fault. You know, so this energy is about recognizing that you have a role to play and you can be the best or the worst person here. You must utilize your reason and put your power and your ambition to the test. When it comes to this divine princess, recognize that you have the power to ascend her to the stars. Ascend her to the stars. This is as powerful as it gets. What are you asking for? Where is that energy going? Is it a true thing? The cards say you should direct it to her. All right, let's continue. All right. Interesting. We now have that Hermes energy. Hermes is that incredible magician, right? And this is coming at the top of our card connected to that princess. And Hermes is the one who gives birth to word. It is that reason in a sense. It is that one who starts and tells the story, who imagines life into creation. It's that conscious, willed action, right? And what we're seeing here is that we are being called to action, right? The magician must imagine themselves connecting and empowering the princess, engaging and saving her, elevating her to that transcendent place, right? Let's continue. Wow. Valor, the Seven of Wands. The call with the magician, again, we have this energy of being true, right? The 7 is recognizing that we're moving from that perfected balance of the 6, the success. We are building upon success. This is recognizing that we have moved and we are achieving something great. This energy didn't come into our lives out of nowhere. This energy came in because we put in that inspired energy towards her. But now we have to persist. We have to have the strength to build on that success and recognize that it's hard to build upon success. Where do you go, right? How do you imagine something different, right? You set out for a win. You've now won. Now you need to kind of sit where you are and imagine where you're going next. It's like you're standing on a ledge, and the time is now to imagine the next step up for the platform, for that tower, right? Let's continue. Beautiful. What she needs is perfected reason, right? What that magus energy, what that magician calls is perfected reason. What that devil needs is that reason. The reason here is the key, right? We need to be in that balanced perspective. We need to be doing what is right. And we need to be thinking about this in a very clear way and taking that responsibility. And that'll allow us to help her in the way that she's needed, to project in the way that we are needed to, and to manifest this power in a way that can ascend the mountain and not bind us in the earth. Beautiful. At the bottom of our square, connected to that princess, we have the abundance, the 3 of Cups, the coming together of 3 in love, right? This is the forming of a family, the beginning, a community, a communion. And recognize that 3 is a love that expands in abundance and in growth. It's that Trinity, right? Trinity of Trinities at the heart of all of the muses, right? Beautiful, loving energy, expansive energy. And it comes out of when we take responsibility and engage with this child and nurture her, right? When we wish and we engage our energy towards helping her, taking care of her, being responsible. And this is also connecting to this energy, this new loving coming in. It's going to require a physical change, a literal transformation. Right? A movement in physical space, a changing of job, a changing of need, a changing of home. But this is beautiful energy, and it is for a beautiful reason. But we must learn to adapt and move and flow, right? Let's continue. Oh, wow. And it came up. In the bottom corner, it came up. That truce came up. What is the truce? Combining perspectives. When 2 people create a shared mind in the middle, through that sharing of perspectives, we can see the blossom. We can't see it otherwise, right? It's only when we come together in that harmony. And that is allowing us to be in that connection and to bring about this change. Also recognize it's about taking these perspectives in with your own. 3 plus yourself makes the 4, right? Learning to expand your mind and to engage in that balance, to understand things from that wider perspective where you're taking others into consideration. This really connects too, again, with that energy of the title and what I was meditating on the time, that hermit energy in reverse, right? The hermit learning to expand her perspective. Virgo coming into contact with others and listening to them in order to see things more clear, in order to gain that reason. All right, beautiful. Okay, I'm now going to flip so that you can see the full cards. So please give me 1 second here. All right, so here we go. We have our full spread. Okay. Oh, how's that looking? Sorry, guys. Pretty good, I think. All right, here we are. So we're going to start with our Three of Swords, the sorrow. The key to overcoming this sorrow is about being true to that passionate, loving energy, building upon the success, right? The sorrow is coming from a place of self-doubt, right? It's not real. It's that energy of just fear, right? It's that fearful energy and that sadness of just uncertainty, right? And not thinking hard enough about these things, right? If you put more perspective in, more energy, that will change. It will become that four, right? Which we see already manifested. And that four with that shared perspective creates that beautiful flower. In this here, though, to get to this, right? The key is to follow that passion, right? We manifested already the 6 perfected balance, success. That means that this has brought love into our life, connection into our life, purpose into our life. And we must engage with that, right? Even though we don't feel we're worthy, this is too powerful to just say no, right? You have the success. You have to build on it. But that requires moving, right? It's going to require physical transformation and change. And that's where the sorrow is coming in, because it's always scary to change. But it's for that profound reason, right? And this valor is always telling us, continue. You already have the success. Why would you not, right? And this change is going to happen no matter what. Whether you stay or you go, your life is not the same. So if you do not pursue your love and what inspires you, all you will do is go back to where you were, and it won't be the same. Things will be different. That inspiration will be gone. All right. We now go here to the Princess of Swords, right? That beautiful child that needs to be educated and inspired, who's looking for that mystical understanding, right? Who's striving for that reason. She needs you to show up in that energy of the conscious actor, the one who engages with her and wishes to engage with her willfully, right? Takes that upon themselves, that responsibility, right? And if you can do that, it will manifest that love in incredible abundance and transcendent growth, expansive growth, beautiful, beautiful energy, right? The 3 implies the 6 implies the 9, the unfolding of the muses, right? Now we go here, right? We have that devil energy. This is recognizing that we have that power, that inspiration. We are connected. The devil, Lucifer, wants to give us what we want. They want us to ascend the mountain. They want us to achieve our dreams. The question is, where do you direct this energy? But look here, this is incredible. You could not show up to the devil in any better fashion. Perfected reason. And imbalanced truths. This means that not only do you have the shared perspective, but you're in that perfected reason. Like, this is as beautiful as it gets, right? Recognize that you have that intellect and that strength. You know how to engage this energy. Pursue your dreams in loving flow and trust that you will do what is right. Just embody reason. Be in truth, in harmony. Seek to unfold the flower of generation, not to engage in violence, right? Beautiful. Now let's look at our crosses. Start here. So that princess, in order to nurture her truly, we have to continue to pursue that valor. We must build upon that loving success. We've made that connection, that powerful energy of victory, right? And now we're building upon that victory and trying to break ahead, but we must be in that valor. Pursue in spite of the challenges, right? And recognize that this is powerful, loving energy and worth it. And that she needs that inspiration. She needs that connection. She needs someone who's not going to settle, but is going to push beyond success, right? And also recognize that what she needs is that balance of perspective, right? What she needs is perspective, multiple people. The child must in many ways be raised by community, right? And she needs us to be able to show up and provide her with that perspective, right? To show up in a way that we're listening to what she needs from those around her who know, right? It's all about helping and being in that proper flow. Okay. Use your reason, recognize this is kind of like meant to be energy here, right? It's your job to teach. That perfected science, and she's the one who seeks wisdom. You have the wisdom. You've achieved that balance. She needs it. And to get to her and to achieve it, you must change. You must adapt and move physically and flow. And to do that, you got to walk that middle path with reason. You got to walk it, right? And have that balance and that strength. Powerful energy. Wow. This is beautiful, guys. Intense energy. Recognize, first off, that this sorrow, this self-doubt, this fear, it's holding you back. If you can embrace that love that brought you here and embrace the changes that are coming, so much love and abundance is unfolding, right? So much beauty coming together in true understanding, the achieving of perfected reason, right? Coming in and being that conscious, willful actor, the one who takes power, right? The one who ascends the mountain, that's incredible, successful, loving, powerful energy. And it produces that unfolding abundance. You just have to have the strength to overcome, to persist and adapt to change, right? And to have the reason and the perspective to be able to pursue this in a right way that truly helps her, right? Take responsibility. Stop doubting yourself. Be that magus. Climb the mountain and expand your mind through connecting and loving harmony and abundance. That's the message. I hope it resonated with you. It certainly resonated with me. All right. Let us do one final sortaise, and we're going to call it an evening. We're going to go to A Sinister Assassin by Antonin Artaud. All right. Muses, guide my hand. What is the message from Antonin Artaud? In the guise of the choice of a body, I say shit to everything and I sleep. In the guise of choice of a body. So if he could have his pick of any form in the totality of imagination, he says shit to everything and let me sleep. Oh my gosh, you gotta love Artaud. All right. Thank you guys for joining me. This was so much fun. And I hope I will see you again tomorrow for another live tarot. All right. Peace and love. And thank you. And again, apologies for the quality. And maybe I'll find another light and it'll be better tomorrow. But thank you guys. Take care.